Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the event management webinar. My name is Brendan Butchermus. I'm a marketing associate here at Jonas Club Software, and I'll be your host for the webinar. We realize that on the line today, we have a mix of some clients that are using integrated event management. Others might be using just the online portion, and some might not be using either. We just want you to know that regardless of what your usage is with event management, we think you'll be able to extract some value from the session, and we encourage you to ask whatever questions you may have during the Q&A period. So on the line today, we have Tim McGurk. Tim is a sales director and will be taking you through event management. We also have Matt Cooper. Matt is an inside sales director and will be helping us answer any questions you may have. Just quickly going over the agenda. First, we'll go over some housekeeping notes, followed by the demo of event management, and ending with a Q&A at the end. So first thing to note is that all your lines are muted, so please use the chat if you have any questions, and we'll try to get to all of them during the Q&A period. Recording of the session will be made available to you in case you want to rewatch the session or pass it along to a team member. So keep your eyes open for that follow-up email. Just to give you a little background on us as a company, we have over 250 employees and have completed over 5,000 installations worldwide. We specialize in 3 areas. First is our back office technology that serves as our enterprise management systems. That's the blue section of the chart. And in red, we have our websites and mobile solutions, which augment our enterprise management systems. And in green, we have our value-added products. We offer a member survey platform, a business intelligence tool, as well as a payroll and HR solution. As a whole, we try to be the single source vendor for private clubs. We offer technology spanning the entire club operation, including accounting, fitness, food and beverage, sports, events, even sailing and marinas. So at this time, I'm going to pass it off to Tim, and he's going to take you through event management.
Thanks, Brendan.
And there you go.
Okay, I just did the show my screen. Can you see my screen, Brendan? It should just be a blue background with a bunch of icons on the left.
Yep, I see it there, Tim.
Okay, excellent. So just wanted to do a high-level overview of the event management system. We're not going to get into all the details of it, but as Brendan mentioned, we're happy to get you in touch with your local account rep who can go into much more detail with you. Or get in touch with your rep directly if you know who that individual is. So a couple of things from an event management perspective. Event management is a part of our activity management suite of products. Activity management is made up of a couple different things like health and spa, court booking, class scheduling, dining reservations, appointment bookings, etc. So again, it's made up of a bunch of different applications. Within event management, what we're focusing on today, it's important to note that it's integrated fully with your membership database, and as well, it's fully integrated with the point of sale system. So not only do we leverage sales items that you have in point of sale set up and configured today to build your menus and those kind of things, but it also has a tie to point of sale for any events that you might build based upon consumption, so that staff can run a tab throughout the course of the night and then ultimately build up back to the event to do your final billing. Event management works in 2 different ways, and those are dictated by different event types. So if you can see in the middle of my screen, it can be used for your banquets, conferences, or meetings, which would be like your weddings and your retirement dinners and those type of deals. It can also be used for any events that you require registration, like a wine tasting or a brunch with Santa or something along those lines. With respect to that as well, not to get into too much detail, but those registerable events are also integrated to the website. So no matter where your members are registering for those brunches or wine tastings, ultimately that all flows back through to the back office events for the final billing. So whether they're registering through you guys at the club, whether they're registering through the website or through a mobile app or the website on their phone or tablet, again, everything flows back through to the back office events. There are a couple different views as it pertains to event management. So I've got the calendar view here. In here, I can see that by day view. I can see it by week view, or I can see it by month view as well. All of those views are printable if you want to print a copy for your records or to pass around to other staff members at the club. We also have a list view. This is nice in that it allows you to search for specific events. So if you want to find a particular wedding or whatever it is that you've already created and then posted and is done and gone, you can find that wedding. And the nice feature here too is the ability to duplicate those events. So if it's a similar event, no sense in starting from scratch, just simply duplicate it and make any of the appropriate changes to that event to make it a new event. As I mentioned within here, there are two different kind of modes. So I've got a mock wedding set up, and I've also got a brunch with Santa. So just for kicks, we'll start with the wedding, and I'll edit this event. So just a couple of the highlights here with respect to your private parties, like your weddings and your retirement dinners and those. The first bit of information, excuse me, that you'll enter is the client info. If it's a member, I can search by member number, or I can hit the little guy with the magnifying glass to search through my membership listing. If it's a non-member event, I can toggle it to a guest. And from there, the first time I'd enter the guest's information, but subsequent to that, we store it in a guest database. So if it's a repeat guest event or something like that, or non-member event, you have that information readily available going forward. As well, if it's a sponsored event, you can sponsor it and tag it to a particular member so that you have that from a reporting perspective. You also have the ability to block off your facility or facilities within here. So we'll work with you to set up all your different facilities. The facilities are global amongst all the activity management applications. So if you're using dining or you're using one of the other applications and potentially have your facilities built, those can be used across the board, so saves on some setup time. You can track the seating style, start date, end time, end date, end time. Can track the number of agreed, expected, confirmed. Of course, can bill for the room if needed. That's all set up in the facility setup, but you do have the ability to discount that as well by an amount or a percentage if you need to. We can factor in setup time and teardown time, and we also do support facility layouts within the application. So as part of the build, we'll work with you to build out your different table types and that, so that way you can start building your facility layout as you're going through the process of configuring the event. The nice thing about those facility layouts is when we get to the forms, we'll talk about this a little bit more, but those facility layouts can also follow the BEO as an example. So when you print your event order for a particular event, you can have the facility layout as part of that print or email copy that the event coordinator might get. As well, the program allows you to build out your services. So we start with service types, and again, these are all definable by you. Beneath those service types is where you'll build out your menus. So I can either start typing something into this Google type search function to find a particular item, or you can utilize the item selector, which allows you to either hunt and peck and pick and choose through your entrees. In this case, we could bring over apps and desserts and that kind of thing, however you want the system to be configured. You also have the ability to set up preset menus within the application. So I can build out the 4 preset menus that I have as an example. And if they want to pick from that, I can just double click and it'll add that to my menuing for me. Similar goes for beverage. So I can build out what they know. But again, going back to my earlier comment, anything that's billed based upon consumption, you can run that tab and point of sale throughout the course of the event, bill it back to the event, and then that'll fill in this grid with everything that they've purchased billed based upon consumption. System also has the ability to track resources. So if they have a grouping description of AV equipment or linens or whatever it might be, and however you want to break that out, you can within the setup, you can build out all your different resources. We do inventory those to an extent. So we can say that in this case, I've got 5 microphones. I need 2 of them, so that leaves 3 available for the rest of that time period if there are other events happening in different rooms. Have the ability to build out checklists. Those checklists can be different for business meetings versus weddings versus birthday parties or what have you. And then it's up to you how you want to capture that info and what info you want to capture. So it could be open text fields, could be drop downs, it could be multiple choice. That's entirely up to you. Within the application, we do also work with you to build out a budget for each event. So I can either report on that from a budget perspective individually by category, or have the ability to see all categories and ultimately see my profit or loss where I stand for that particular event. The only thing that we don't capture here, one of the biggest things that we don't capture is labor, but we do have this entered cost field for anything that might not be captured within the system. You do have the ability to enter that cost into there to factor it in. All the billing is handled directly through event management. So this shows me everything that we've got to bill so far or have set up to bill. So there's all our food and our resources and that. I have the ability to set the date of record. So if I need to backdate it to make it the actual date of the event, I can do so. But then it gives me the option to select the items to bill. So you can either select, everything, or I can pick and choose what I'm billing. And then it allows me to preview my posting. So here's everything that I've selected to bill. Here's my GL allocation, both for the pre-post and the final post. And I can finish it off that way. So it's quite an easy process from a billing perspective, and nice that it's all integrated. That during the setup, we work with you, of course, to go through all of that. But then once you close all these events, they're hitting the appropriate areas on the general ledger. We also have the ability to accept payments through the program. So again, give it a date of record, the payment type, and whether it's a payment or a deposit, the payment item, and these are the only kind of payment items that you guys accept as form of payment. If you don't accept credit card, it won't be an option. The amount, a reference number, like if it's a check or what have you. And then of course, once I post that, it'll give me an audit number back to the general ledger. Biggest final piece here is the forms. So the nice thing about event management is we've taken a bit of a different approach to the forms. So we've got a forms designer built into the application. That not only allows you to create unlimited number of form types, but also different forms underneath those form types. So as an example, maybe I need an invoice for this event. I need a contract for this event. And maybe I need an event order for this event. And then I have the ability to pick and choose which event order I'm going to select. A good example is maybe the bride and groom get absolutely everything, whereas perhaps you have a chef copy where it has what has to be cooked, where it has to go, and when it has to be there, but not necessarily any monetary values. So very flexible from the forms perspective. All of these forms can be previewed, they can be printed, and they can also be emailed directly out of the application. This process also, and I'll show in a moment, this process can also be done in mass. So you're not necessarily having to hunt and peck through every single event. You can, again, do that in mass if you need to for a week or a 2-week period or what have you. All of these events can also be set up on a reoccurring basis. So if it's a monthly board meeting or a monthly ladies luncheon or something along those lines, you can set that to reoccur daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. And then you can follow the reoccurrence pattern as needed. Specify when it starts and when it ends, or maybe it's just going to happen for a set number of occurrences. And then finally, you can determine what information gets copied over from event to event to event. Okay. Brendan, did we want to hit off questions real quickly to see if there's anything on the private party side?
Yeah, no questions coming in yet. So, I see. Are you able to see those, Tim? I just got one there.
Okay. I see them here. Sorry if I missed this, but will the recording be sent out? Yes, Elizabeth, the recording will be sent out. Brendan, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you'll get it within the next day or so.
Yeah, we're actually going to send it out this afternoon.
Okay. Is there a way to publish this event to the calendar on? Is there a way to publish the event calendar on the website? I'm not quite sure I 100% answer that question, but yes, we can have we do have an online calendar, which we'll get to here momentarily. As well, we do have integration between the back office event management and as well the online calendar. So the back office is where you build out, the dates and times and capacities and those kind of things. That all gets shared up to the web. And then from the website perspective, really all you have to do is pretty it up for the members, adding any content like schedule of events or a menu or anything along those lines. How do you print a week's worth of BEOs at the same time? I was heading there, so good question. On the left-hand side under tasks, we've got this program for print and email event forms. This allows you to do that in mass, so I can say that I want all my event orders for the next week or the next 2 weeks. Maybe I just want to print those, or I just want to email those, or I want to do a combo. So to answer your question, Shannon, that's how you do them in mass through print and view and email event forms. All right, I'm going to move on to the club events real quick, Brendan, and then we'll hit on some more questions after we get through the web portion as well. So I've got a sample of a brunch. So again, that's an event type that requires registration. Much of it's the same in that I can reserve facilities and services and that kind of thing. The biggest difference here is that I'm setting parameters. So here's where I can say that, the minimum number of attendees that I can seat is X and the max number is 50. Do I want to limit how many folks can book into a particular event at a given time? Do I want to restrict attendees, gender? Do I want to allow a wait list? Is it a wine tasting? So maybe nobody under the age of 21 can come. When does registration start and when does it end? And then we can also factor in cancellation policies for these as well. So if you want to bill or do bill for these, you can set those cancellation policies to either be a dollar value or a percentage. And then again, setting that cancellation policy in place as to when folks can't cancel after, we'll allow that billing to take place if applicable. As well, a little bit different from the private party side, but you do have the ability to set up pricing. So we set those up as different pricing codes. And then you have the ability to differentiate between standard pricing, member pricing, and guest pricing. We do factor in early bird pricing, and then you can go even deeper on the pricing too if you've got senior, adult, junior pricing and all that kind of stuff. So flexible from that perspective also. And then we do have this description override, which will show on the statement. That just gives the members kind of more information as to what exactly that event was if needed. When it comes to registering members, again, they can register through the web or they can register through you guys in the back office, that is. It gives the date, the event name, all that information pulls over the pricing. It's very simply just adding a member here, which is a dual search. I can either type in the member's name or I can search on member number, and I can register that member for the particular event. They're just getting a booking number here. The nice thing about this whole thing is once I get everybody registered within the system, again, whether they're registering through mobile, the web, or through you guys in the back office, it's very simple to bill, and you've really got two different methods of billing. I can either launch individually each person to the point of sale, or we have this auto charge POS feature, which takes everybody who's registered for the event, and then you can either automatically close all chits, which just sends it straight to their account, or you have the ability to create the chits and leave them open, which would be an indication of, maybe it's $40 for the brunch, but any beer, liquor, wine, drinks would be on top of that. So in that case, I could send it to point of sale. They can add anything else and then close out one ticket for everything. Or again, as I mentioned, if it's $40 all in, that would be an example where I can automatically close all the chits. So again, makes that billing process way easier with doing everybody, if applicable, in one foul swoop, as opposed to doing each person individually. On the event side as well, last thing to hit on here from a high level, you do have quite a bit of reporting available to you. So you've got the event bookings report, the event bookings with financial information, just hitting on a couple of the key ones. Event registrations as well. Task reports, so you do have, I missed this, but you do have the ability to set up tasks and tie those to employees for each event, so you can print those. Payments and deposits, profit and loss, always a biggie. And then this forecast, sales forecast by service type is also a good one for a lot of our clients to kind of do some forecasting reports based on the information that you're looking to capture. Brendan, I'm just going to spin through the web calendar real quick and then we'll get to some questions. So I've pulled up the website here. Again, as Brendan mentioned in the beginning, some may have the website, some may have the calendar, some may not. So bear with me on this. So within the calendar, you do have the ability to publish as far out as you want as far as events go. Again, with that integration, I do like to mention that the nuts and bolts are set up in the event management system, and then you just have to pretty it up for the members on the website side of things. Members can search by the event name. There are also some filters available where they can search by different categories, and again, those are all definable by you. The other one that they can search on is different locations, definable by you as well during the implementation of the website. This is all available on desktop as well as mobile, so no worries how the members see it. It stacks the content appropriately for them. They can view the calendar in a month view. They can view it in a week view, or they can view it in a list view as well. It does default to the list view to the current date, so you see it brought us down to today. From here, they can find a particular event and click on it to see more details. So the information on the left-hand side of when, where, why, how, that's all coming from the back office, as well as the more information of the pricing and that. And then on a per member, per event basis, you have the ability to show any other members that are attending that particular event. The members can see, again, can be turned off if needed. Where we have this this nine and dine verbiage in the middle, that's a customizable text that I referenced. So this is entirely up to you how much or how little information you want to populate. Members have the ability, again, to register for these events. We have a couple different registration methods. So we can do detailed registration, which means I want to know every single person that's coming. We can do quick registration, which means I don't necessarily care who's coming. I just want to know how many are coming. And then we can do a hybrid of both, which is what you see here. So in this case, I can add any other members to the reservation if I need to add a friend or what have you. If I know I'm going to have 4 people, I just don't know who the other 2 are. In this case, perhaps I can add 2 additional. Click and continue. You do have the ability to also prompt the members for additional information. So are they a boat owner in this case, and do they have any food allergies? Yes or no. That way you can prepare a little bit ahead of time. You know, a lot of clubs use this in a member guest type of a situation, like what is your guest handicap? What's your guest's home club? Do you prefer beef, chicken, or fish for dinner? So again, capturing all that information, you have the ability to ask up to 12 questions. Capturing that information ahead of time helps you prepare, and that's all available to you on the bookings report that gets spit out from all these registrations. Of course, members can add any other information, any notes. You know, if they want something specific or don't want something specific, they can throw that in there. Once they complete the registration, they are going to get an on-screen confirmation. We do support emailed confirmations. We support push notification confirmations as well for those clubs that have our mobile app, and then we also support text messages for any clubs that subscribe to our texting program, both for confirmations, and as well we do support reminders as part of the event management system, and as well all the other booking applications I should mention. The final thing to hit on with respect to the website is members do have this My Bookings area. So this brings in all of the bookings that a member's made through the website, specifically events in this case we'll talk about, because that's why we're here. So they're able to see all the events that they've signed up for. From here, it shows everything in one view where they can sync to their personal calendar. They can also edit the bookings, or if they can no longer attend the event, they can always cancel themselves out of the booking as well. So that's a high level on the website and the back office. Brendan, we ready for questions?
Yes, I think we are. I've seen a few rolling in here. So yeah, there's some. I think the last question we had answered was Shannon Howard's there, Tim. You can see it, so that would make,
yeah, the week's worth. Yeah.
Yep, that was the last one we had answered.
Okay. Are you able to send confirmation emails to registrants through the module? Yes, Brady, you can. Can you show us a sample form? Kelly, I'll get back to that in a moment. Actually, yeah, I'll get back to that in a moment. When you showed us the checklist, is this only viewable through each event, or can I access a checklist for all events? Carrie, that is on a per event basis, the checklists. So if members are registering from the website, how do you import to event management? If members are registering from the website, how do you import to event management? Kimberly, there is no import. With the integration through integrated events, when members register through the web, that information automatically populates into the back office, so there's no importing to do. Does the checklist show on the form? I'm sorry, it was jumping around. The screen was jumping around. Carrie, I'll have to look at that, and I'll get back to you on that if you can send me an email.
So Tim, I jumped on. I apologize. I was a few minutes late. It's Matt Cooper here. So the checklist, you can include to have those on the BEO, the internal or the external. So the event order, the one that's staff facing, you can have prices all hidden on there, and you can include the checklist. That's part of the internal notes versus the external. External is going to show on the BEO. So if it's a wedding and time of procession, what's the first song that the bride's walking down to? What's the first dance? Those types of checklists. That is something that you would have on the external. So the actual bride and groom see that. And then the internal ones can be staff facing inside. So like symbol of the chicken means that person's having chicken for their meal, that kind of stuff. So that those can be on those event forms.
Thanks, Coop.
Yep, no problem.
There are a couple questions about pricing. I would reach out to one of the three of us. Brendan's going to throw up our contact information shortly so that you have that, can take a photo of it or a screenshot, or reach out directly to your local rep, and they'll be able to provide you with pricing. Not really an event related question, but Jonas, point of sale in the cloud. We do have, and again, reach out to your local rep, happy to show it to you, but we do have a native mobile app for mobile point of sale, runs on both iOS and Android, that's available to you. So again, reach out to your local rep and we can get you a lot more information on the mobile point of sale piece. Do we need a module for activity management? Debbie, again, I would reach out to your local rep so we can take a look at your application listing. Activity management is similar in a sense to Jonas Club Management, where it's modular. So you only purchase the modules that you need. Event management, if you don't already have it, would likely be an add-on to your suite of Jonas applications. Can the event calendar be maintained in our Club Essential website? Yes, it can. Debbie, I think that was again, reach out to us and we're happy to have that more detailed conversation, but we can put our calendar into a Club Essential website.
I'm just scrolling back. Yeah, I'm just scrolling back through to make sure we got everybody's on here. Oh, I didn't turn my camera on too. I apologize. Didn't even realize I wasn't on there. Let's see.
I'm just pulling up to show Kelly. Kelly, here's a sample of an event order.
Sorry, Tim, my screen's being shown right now. I'm just gonna make you the presenter real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, all good.
We back?
Yep, I can see Jonas Golf and Country Club there.
Okay, cool. So Kelly and everybody else, this is just one example of a form that we have on the website, through event management. Again, they can all be customized based on the information that we're storing within the program. We can add colors and your logo and that kind of thing to this. This is just one example that I wanted to just pull up and show you.
Adding to that too, even like the layout, how this one's kind of just all stacked vertically like that. You can go side by side with them, so you can have a split BEO where it has food on one side, beverages on the other, event costs and layout and that kind of stuff too. So you can split those up the middle, like Tim said, logos, font, kind of stuff, colors.
Yep.
The other one that came up, I don't know if we answered it or not, was the confirmation side of it. How can we send confirmations directly from there? So there's two ways that members sign up for event, like Tim showed, the online calendar. That will be automatic confirmations. Email confirmation will go out, as well as the potential of a push notification if you use a mobile app through Jonas. And then as well, if you use texting through Jonas too, that's a third layer of communication that can go out automatically for online sign up. The same thing as well too, if somebody phones in, or if there's an event change where Tim goes into the back end there and Jam Event Management makes a change, you can have that either automatically send those, or it can prompt you, would you like to send an updated, or would you like to send a confirmation with the prompt that'll pop up on screen for yes or no. So those are once again configurable on the back end too. I think we got through all of them, Tim.
Yeah, I think I don't see anything unless I missed it. Oh, you got some too in the chat. Okay, cool.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys. And yeah, thank you to everybody. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Kelly. Yeah, so function order sample, that was the function order sample. I assume BEO is what you're looking for on that, or if you're looking for the internal one. Either way, just email Brendan. If you want to pop back up our contact information, email Tim or I. We can get you another example. I can pull up and download all the event forms that we have on there, the standard Jonas kind of branded ones. I can shoot those over to you so you have them.
Yeah, so just one more time there, guys. There's the the contact information for all of us in case you need to reach out to us. Yeah, I think that's it for today. So
Just one other thing that just popped up that I did want to hit on here was, do all events and event management go to the calendar? No. Yes or no. You have the ability to determine which ones go to the website and which ones don't. Sorry, that was an important one.
No wedding crashers. You can keep the weddings off the radar if you need to.
All
Awesome.
right, gentlemen, we're good.
All good, all good. All right. Well, thank you everybody for showing up today, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Have a good one.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.